Hi, I'm Sandra Burris with Keller Williams Realty, and today we're going to talk about real estate investing for beginners. Stay tuned. I get lots and lots of questions about real estate investing. Some people are just trying to gather information, and others are really getting serious about real estate as a good investment tool for them. I look at real estate investing two ways. A lot of people think about real estate investing like flipping homes, and definitely that's a good avenue for some people. So I look at flipping as one and buy and hold as another. So first we're going to talk about flipping. When you decide you want to flip properties, it is a time-intensive process. You are going to need to find properties that are below market value, whether they're on the market or not yet on the market, and then you want to buy that smart. You want to be able to evaluate what the property needs. For instance, it's probably not just upgrades. It probably needs systems. It may need foundation work. It may need a new roof. How you buy that is super important to your bottom line. So learning how to evaluate properties is very important, and especially for a flipper, because you just don't have a ton of leeway, especially in the current market. I find that investors are buying properties closer to market value right now and hoping to make their money after they improve it on the escalation of the marketplace to really make their money. Now, some of the things that you want to look out for is you need to have your people in place before you decide to do a flip. You need to have contractors. You need to have your money people. You need to have your plan of action. Know where you're looking, what types of properties that you want to focus on. Those are all super important when you're looking at flipping homes. Now, when I'm showing properties to buyers, sometimes it's super obvious when there is a flip that is a new flipper. They tend to choose very inexpensive products to put in the home. They often don't think about things like the systems of the home. Those things show up to a buyer, and I see some pretty bad flips out there. So my suggestion, if you're wanting to flip, take a look at homes, understand the process, understand the important things of a home, and know what the costs of those are going to be. The other thing you can do is buy and hold. In fact, when I show first-time buyers, I always tell them the property that we're buying now could very well be your very first investment property. So I want them to buy it right. When you have a buy and hold property, you make money in three different ways: appreciation, cash flow, and hopefully a decent amount of cash flow. The other is debt pay down. Somebody else is paying off your mortgage for you. I always recommend to people, if they want to do an investment property, do that on a 10 or 15-year note and get that paid off as soon as possible. You're going to be needing to do several things when you think about doing a buy and hold property. First thing you're going to look at is finding the property. You're going to evaluate the location. Where do you want this property to be, as well as what the property is and what the rent potential is. So basically, you want to buy the right property for the right terms and for the right price. Second, you're going to analyze. You're going to make sure the numbers make sense. That means you're going to look at what your carrying costs are going to be on that home. What is your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, as well as you need to have a little bit of a buffer for maintenance or anything like that. Also, you want to factor in, if you don't have it rented 12 months out of the year, you may have to have that budgeted in for as well. So you're analyzing. Third, you're going to buy the property. You're going to need to figure out, how do you want to finance it? Are you going to pay cash? Are you going to use a conventional or traditional lender? Are you going to use seller financing? There's several ways that you can purchase a property. You also want to make sure that you have it evaluated. I always recommend to my investors to get a property inspection. Even if it's a cash investment and you're going to buy it regardless, it still gives you a good idea of what you're buying. And once you've closed on the property, it's time to evaluate what you need to do to make it ready. You may need to replace flooring, paint, appliances, systems, whatever needs to be done. And again, that's why it's important to have a property inspection done, but also you're trying to make it appealing to the marketplace. So that's the time to have that. And you want to have those contractors lined up so as soon as you close, you can get those things taken care of. Now, we've got a video on the best home improvements to make for the highest return on investment, and we'll link that below so you can take a look at that as well. So once you close on the property, it's time to get a great tenant in there. And again, that reduces so many headaches for my investors. So learning how to evaluate a tenant, I recommend something like mysmartmove.com. That allows the tenant to go in and do their background and credit check for you, and it helps rate a tenant. Also have tenant criteria. What are you going to allow? Are you going to allow pets? Do you have surfaces in your home that won't be damaged if there are pets? I always find that the more open you can be to your tenant pool, the better off you are. However, again, if you've got a home with beautiful hardwood floors, you may not want to allow pets. That's your call as the owner. You're going to do, again, your tenant criteria. What is the minimum credit score? What are your income requirements? And so forth. You're going to determine the rent that you're going to ask on that by looking at what the comparable properties are renting for in the area for a similar property. And then once you decide on your tenant, you're going to draft your lease. And again, your agent can help you with that, help you with the terms of that, and then make a smooth move-in process for your tenant. I also recommend often for people to have a home warranty on the property that they have as an investment property. It alleviates a little bit of the headache of having to find contractors to fix things like the air conditioner or plumbing or something like that. You can use that home warranty for that. But again, that's your risk evaluation. Some of my owners want to have a management company handle the property, and that way they really are hands-off. One of the things that people forget that they can do when they are purchasing an investment property is you're able to use your IRA to purchase investment properties, and we'll talk about that more in a future video. I hope this video was helpful to you, and as always, like, comment, and subscribe. And in fact, if you've got a question about home investing, please leave it in the comments. Thanks so much.